Well, it's time to let the Willis's watchdogs out. Senate Republicans have blocked a bill to increase lending to small business. The bill would have created a $30 billion fund. So let's meet our panel. Mark Levine is a radio talk show host in D.C. Andrea Tanteros is a conservative, I can say that, conservative columnist and Fox News contributor. And Colleen DeBays is a small business editor for the Wall Street Journal. This is right up your alley, Colleen. What do you think?
This is, yeah. Well, this bill has died and come back to life a few times already, so we're watching this very closely to see what happens. The centerpiece, of course, is this $30 billion lending facility that's directed toward community banks and it's designed to kind of try to help ease the credit crunch that so many business owners are facing. And that's been what a lot of the debate and the controversy has been about. You know, what the critics are saying is that this could be, you know, kind of just like TARP, where the banks get the money and just kind of sit on it and don't actually lend it. The community banks, their perspective is, well, we don't want to take this money if there's going to be all these onerous rules and regulations about it. So,
well, what do you say? Should we have this lending facility?
Well,
or not?
you know, it at least would be something. You know, small business owners out there are crying for help in some fashion. I don't know if this will be the end-all, cure-all, or
but it could be a
fix
step
all the
up.
problems. It would be a step.
Mark, what do you say?
I think this is all about politics. Look, this is the same Republican Party that voted against the largest middle-class tax cut, the Obama tax cut, that lowered the tax burden to the lowest it's been in 60 years. They filibustered aid to the troops. They were against the unemployment insurance. Now, apparently, they just like small business, too. It really isn't about small business. It's about being the party of no, trying to derail the Obama agenda, trying to make him fail.
I don't have my GOP talking points like Mark, but I will say I don't think anyone's ever accused Republicans of not being for business, especially small business. And the Republicans' point on this is, why not just extend the Bush tax cuts when a majority of those who file, the rich, are considered small businesses, and this would really, really help them get their economy going, get their businesses going.
But why are they against this small business package?
This is just another distraction. That's the real root of it.
Mark, you want to jump back in here? Mark,
well, the point is if they support small business, they should be voting for this package. If they don't, they don't. You know, they're always trying to say, well, we want our agenda. You know what? You lost the election. The question is, this is on your plate. You're going to vote for it or against it? And they seem to be voting against the middle class, small business. I think the real secret here is they're trying to derail the next bill, the bill to lift the liability caps on oil companies.
You say the party of no, but you have you have Olympia Snowe, who is not a diehard conservative. And she came out and said, why can't you just let us offer some amendments? Why can't you even just let us offer our opinion? I mean, that's a real problem here.
Oh, Andrea, that would be open and public government.
I know,
Come on. All right, we got to go on to the next story.
Republicans never allowed amendments when they were in charge. I remember.
We're going to move on to the next story, guys. The House Ethics Committee has outlined 13 charges against New York Congressman Charlie Rangel. The Democrat is facing a trial on these charges unless a deal is reached. This, as a new report is out that says Rangel's defense is getting paid for by K Street. I know you love this story, Andrea.
Oh, this is terrible. He should just step down. And it's really amazing to see. He was actually sobbing today, someone said. And it's even Republicans, when they lose power, like we saw Bennett in Utah earlier this year, he was crying. I mean, they're sobbing when you take the power away. But getting back to the K Street point, this is disgusting that people can actually give money, political donations, that can technically, through a loophole, go to defend these ethical violations.
Mark, is this Democratic policy as you know it and love it? I mean, do you think this is a great idea or what?
Definitely not. No, I do not like K Street funding anybody. Look, I want public financing of campaigns. You know, the Republican leader, John Boehner, was on the House floor handing out bribes saying that you get tobacco money if you vote for tobacco legislation. All of this is corrupt. It happens in both parties. And the answer is take the money's milk. Money is the mother's milk of politics. Take it out.
You agree,
Make it public financing.
Yeah, I do. And I just want to say with this Rangel situation, I mean, this is why the House Democrats wanted him to settle. The longer this goes on, the more of this kind of dirty laundry will be kind of aired very publicly. And he's reached a settlement, it sounds like, but there could still be this very public spectacle. I think if that happens, we've already had a few House Democrats calling for him to resign. He still has broad support, but I think that could possibly happen.
You know, if we don't move on, we won't get to talk about pot. So let's talk about pot.
Okay.
Still months away from residents going to the polls on legalizing marijuana, Oakland, California has already approved 2 tax rates on pot sales. Mark, it's not legal. Are they jumping the gun by figuring out how they're going to tax it?
Well, it is legal in the state of California. Now, you're right, it violates federal law.
For certain uses, not, I mean, you're not supposed to walk down the street. Everybody's not supposed to walk down the street smoking a joint.
It's supposed to be, no, it's supposed to be for medical marijuana. They're taxing it for medical marijuana. I'm all for it. I say legalize it, tax it, regulate it, make sure it's pure. I'm all
Mark,
for it. Same with tobacco.
Let me set something straight here. This is marijuana for recreational purposes. This isn't a tax on medical marijuana. This is a tax on recreational marijuana, which of course is not yet legal. So what do you think of that?
I thought it was for medical. I thought it was for medical, but I support legalizing it, period, because I think, frankly, it's less dangerous than tobacco, which is also a legal drug.
Well, I think there's this fundamental debate, and even on the right between libertarians and the social conservatives, who some of them say, you know, let's let people smoke it if they got it, and let's outlaw it. My issue is taxing someone. I mean, the real issue here is taxing them because they have these huge budget problems. Yeah. I don't think that this should be taxed, or anything should be taxed, particularly marijuana, to compensate for reckless spending.
Yeah. And I would say, and actually, like Mark, I think I was thinking that this too is the medical marijuana people who are legitimately, they have businesses, and they're the ones being taxed, from what I understand. And what I see is, I think there's kind of a disturbing trend where these kind of very niche industries are getting taxed, and it's just like you say, the city and the states are cash strapped. They need revenue coming in. What I think is happening is a lot of these niche industries, they're small businesses, they're small operators working within them that don't have these powerful lobbying groups. They don't have a powerful voice. And so they're the, you know, we've seen it with the tanning salons. They've also
just powerful lungs, right?
Yeah.
All right, guys, we're going to have to leave it at that. Yes, Mark, go ahead.
Oh, just real quick, I think just like tobacco, there are health consequences. I would legalize marijuana if you want to kill yourself. That's your right. But because that costs the state money to take care of you, I think it's fair to tax it.
All right. All right.
We know
Spoken like a true Democrat. All right.
After the show.
Thanks, Mark, Andrea, and Colleen. We appreciate it.